Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, January the 26th, 2022. Thursday, January 26th, 2022. Got a little gray hair peeking up out of there. What's that doing? Yes, they are under there. I am thinking maybe this summer I will lose the cat. I don't know. It's become my image. I just might wear my hair. My hair is actually short. We'll see. Anyway, that was off topic. Today's episode was just interesting. See, Lily is going to need to get her house in order and settle down because Phyllis is a loose cannon. Phyllis is trying to find her son's platform a home, and he don't even know it. So Daniel is in Crimson Lights, and he's on his tablet working, and Tucker comes up, and Tucker says, well, I hear you're looking for a place, you're in flux, and you look no further. I'm right here. And Daniel's looking at him like, wait, looking for a place in flux? And Tucker says, give me a minute of your time. So they're sitting down and they're talking, and he says, yeah, I don't necessarily know that. I think Tucker may have said, I heard your mother talking, or I was talking to your mother, but Phyllis did not approach Tucker with the idea. Tucker overheard Phyllis talking, trying to get an appointment with Nate, right? And Tucker's heard through the grapevine that Daniel is trying to start a gaming project, and he wants it. Tucker wants in on anything. But see, Tucker's too restless for me. He wants in on something right now. But then tomorrow it could be something else. And now he's taken your idea, he's ruined your idea because he's ready to walk away, dismantle, and sell it. So Tucker is absolutely the wrong move for Daniel. But Tucker, it's interesting, was saying all the right things. Daniel would have complete autonomy, creative control. Tucker's got the money. He just wants to invest. And Tucker's ready to go. And then Tucker said, I understand, your family you got some family problems, your wife and your daughter are estranged. And Daniel's looking at him like, wait, what? He goes, I can understand that. I'm estranged from my family through recent events, but that means we got something to prove, right? And Daniel looked at him, and he understood it, and what Tucker said was resonating with him. But Daniel said, my ideal business relationship with anybody is someone who knows how to keep out of my personal business, because my personal business is just that. It's personal. And so Tucker looked at him, and he said, how Tucker is, I understand that statement. I understand it completely. But we also know what's happening in our personal lives are usually our motivators and the reason for us doing certain things. And Daniel looked at him like, yeah, he's right there. But he didn't say like, yeah, you right there. But in his mind, he's thinking, this guy's right. So Daniel's honestly listening, not like I'm ready to move, but he is hearing Tucker, right? And guess who has to walk in? Lily, because she hears Tucker telling this is why we'll be such a good fit, and blah, blah, blah. And Lily walks up smiling. I'm sorry. I hear your not so subtle pitch to a project that's under contract with Chancellor Winters. And Tucker says, yeah, but I know Chancellor Winters is really in flux, and I know a lot of things are on hold. So, and Lily goes, well, you know what? You're one of the reasons that things are in flux and are on hold. And she goes, Daniel, you can't trust this guy. This guy, this, and she's just talking about how you can't trust Tucker. And Tucker's just sitting there like, but look, I'm still the one with the money ready to go. He just, And so Tucker says, listen, Daniel, like I said, I'm definitely interested, and I'm the one you should go with. And Tucker gets up and Lily sits down. I can't believe you are shopping around. You're talking to Tucker McCall. And Daniel says, wait, hold on. Tucker approached me. I did not approach Tucker McCall. He says, but you know, Lily, he does have a point, right? Things are in flux at Chancellor Winters. And she goes, yeah, I know, Daniel. And I'm sorry, I can't really say when things are going to be a go. But and he's just looking at her. He's not saying no. He's just like, here we go. But he's just looking at her. And so then we get Audra and Nate walking in. Because see, mind you, Phyllis has already had a meeting. She lied, says she is the business partner. Daniel's creative. I handle the business end of things. And if things are interesting enough, I let him know. And then you'd have a meeting with Daniel. But for now, I'm just I'm just feeling out to see who's interested. And so she pitches the project, and Nate says, and I'm just like looking at her like, I don't know, right? Because see, a con can see a con, you know, a little misrepresenter can see another misrepresenter, right? So Audra's looking at Phyllis, and Audra's also gauging, can I work with this chick? Oh, I don't know. You know? And so Nate says, no, I'm interested. Intriguing. Gaming is big. Intriguing. And so he's like, but Audra says, they're under contract with Chancellor Winters. And Nate looked, and Phyllis said, well, you know, nothing is written in stone yet. So we're just feeling around, you know, we're seeing who's interested, what are our options. And so Nate says, well, you know, okay, I'm interested, but I'd have to speak to Dan, your son. Like we said, this is your son's project. Like I said, I handle all business. Now, mind you, she's only in charge of the graphic, the you know, the coding in and the design team. But Phyllis just, and I was like, see, Phyllis, why would you do that? As she's doing this whole thing, I'm like, what in you made you decide to do this? Yes, you might think Chancellor Winters is dragging their feet, but guess what? Phyllis is absolutely has not completed what Daniel's asked her to do. So talk about dragging feet, talk about, you know, not really developing, even though guess what? They can't really do all that hiring because their project's on hold, but they could get the coding down, the building of the foundation. Phyllis could be building because that's going to take coding and design, which she could do. She hasn't spent enough time. She barely looked at a resume, but she's out here trying to wheel and deal outside of her department. Now, she didn't even act that bad at Marchetti. She stayed in her lane at Marchetti. Why she feels she's not staying in her lane here, I don't know, right? So she goes, okay, now that I know that there's interest, I will check with Daniel and I will set up a meeting. So she leaves, and Audra's looking at Nate, and he's like, I don't know, she seems like a loose cannon, but you know, they don't know. So Audra and Nate walk into Crimson Lights. Lily's still talking to Daniel, and she looks at them. She goes, well, look at here. The CEO and COO of Newman Media. Well, we could sure tell your company has questionable hiring tactics. And I'm like, oh, Lily, are you really a little salty still? Because when you were talking to Devon, you were almost sounding like, you know, you and Nate is cool now. Now you see where Nate's coming from, you buddies. But you sure did snipe there. And guess what? That's because the salt in the wound Audra was standing right there. You know, the latest deception that Lily did not see coming. Okay. So actually the latest snare and stall when she was talking to Tucker, that was his accomplice, right? So Nate just looks at her, and then he turns to Daniel and says, Daniel, heard all about your gaming platform, your future gaming platform, your project, and it sounds interesting to me. And so Daniel's looking at him like, wait, what? How did you hear about that? And he goes, oh, your mother just met with us. And Daniel looked like, wait, what? And Lily goes, wait a minute. So you were meeting with Tucker and you sent your mother to meet with Newman Media? And Daniel says, look, for one thing, I had no knowledge of a meeting with Newman Media, none. And Audra looked at Nate and said, I thought something was off. And he goes, I'm sorry if she misrepresented my intentions and wasted your time, but no, that was not my intentions. And he looked at Lily and he goes, and you know what? Listen, I'm going to get back to you later today because I have to go, right? So he heads straight for Phyllis's room. Now, mind you, she runs into Tucker on her way up, and Tucker's like, she goes, stay away from my son. He will never do business with you. And she's going on, and he goes, and he gets on the elevator because she goes, and by the way, I'll be taking the next elevator. And as he gets on, he looks at her, he goes, you might want to check with Daniel on that. Because, see, you work for him. And his thoughts just might be different from yours. And he let the elevator, when he says, you work for him. And she looked at him like, huh? Because mind you, she just already puffed herself up. Me and my son are partners. I handle all the business. Oh, wow, right? And so the elevator closed and Phyllis is like, oh. So now she's in her room. Daniel knocks and he comes in and she goes, oh, well, you know what? I'm glad you're here because I have to inform you and let you know. And he goes, no, you don't have to let me know nothing. He says, I'm here to inform and let you know. You had no right representing my project like that. He says, you work for me. He says, and now once again, I'm questioning, did I make a mistake hiring you? Once again. And Phyllis looks at him like, like what? What could you, because she goes, I don't know what you're talking. No. You had a meeting with Newman Media. And so he is going, honestly, Daniel needs to let her go. Because Phyllis is going to ruin this whole thing for him. And even though, guess what, it's probably dead in the water at Chancellor Winters, we shall see. We shall see. But Phyllis is just a loose cannon. The only thing is he's strong enough to call her on her crap at every turn. But you know what? I can't be looking behind my back every minute, wondering what have you gone and done now? Because you're going to sit there. Have you done anything today? What have you done that I don't know about that you shouldn't have done? I don't know what you're talking about. I've only been here coding. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, mind you, she's already signed his name on something. So no. Phyllis has got to go. Sometimes Phyllis has always been a loose cannon, but they're making her just off the charts right now. And I'm not liking this off the charts. When she owned the Grand Phoenix, Phyllis was savvy. Phyllis was just the epitome of businesswoman. I mean, goodness gracious, got some construction going on next door. Wow. I'm almost done anyway. But, now she's just flailing aimlessly. So anyway, I'm not going to waste the time with the conversation between Nick and Sally. Listen, guys, you didn't miss nothing, and I'm not even going to talk about it. I fast forwarded most of it. It's ridiculous. Ugh. So that was it. That's pretty much it. On Comment Corner, Jack, Diane. They tell Kyle and Summer, because Summer's like, Diane, you're here again awfully early this morning. So Jack says, well, we want to tell you something. Diane spent the night. Our relationship has progressed, and we're or whatever he said. We're involved. And Kyle was like, wait, huh? He's standing up like, wait, what? And Summer's like, mm-hmm. And yeah, so he goes on, and it's this, that, and the other, and Diane's like, yeah, we're happy, and blah, blah, blah. And Kyle's just like, whoa. So we would kind of like your support. And Kyle's like, well, it's a lot to take in. Hope almost like, hope you know what you're doing. But Kyle wasn't overjoyed and happy with the situation, right? So Summer says, hey, honey, listen, we got to go to that business breakfast, the business meeting we got to get to, breakfast meeting. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're right. So they go to society and they sit down. She just said that so they can have an exit, right? And he goes, you know what? I have to admit, I was thrown way more than I was letting on about this. My mother and my father. And Summer says, well, you know what? One thing I could tell you, my mother was right about that. Yeah, my mother was right about that. Because see, and them getting back together, that was really all by Diane's design. All that crying and needed to just be, oh, Jackie Jack. Because remember, before Jeremy Stark came to, Phyllis and Ashley and Nikki are all, they're bugging me, Jack. Oh, Jack. Oh, but now that she's got him, she is the epitome of strength, isn't she? She is just ruling this town. Yeah. Yes, she is. So Summer said, well, you know what? There ain't nothing we can do about it. There is nothing, and pretty much like almost like it ain't none of our business. Wow. I just want our lives to go back to being happily married, raising Harrison. And she goes, that's another reason, Kyle, I want you not to get involved with my grandfather. So Kyle got into it a little. Said, I don't know. I might. We'll see. I haven't made my decision. So that's where they stand. And then, of course, the next scene, Jack and Diane back in the bed again. Now Jack can't get no work done, right? Back in the bed again. Diane is going to have him propose to her within the next, Valentine's Day is coming up in 2 weeks. Let's see if she can work that fast. Let's see if she can get a proposal on Valentine's Day. What do y'all think? Tell me, Comment Corner. Think Diane's gonna maneuver that? But one thing I could tell you right now, that whole Jeremy Stark, neat, bow, tidy up, Y&R writers better have something better than that, because that would not have gone that way. Nor would that have been tidied up, neatly done, and over with that fast. So I hope we got trouble down the pike, because realistically, I really liked the concept that Stark was let out early because he made a plea deal to roll over on Diane. Let's see. Because if so, guess what? Guess who's going to get him out of jail or off of this? The feds, right? And he'll be back. So we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I'm not happy with the way that storyline went. So I will be back for another daily recap of The Young and the Restless. Hopefully Cliffhanger Friday has something for us. But right now, the show really doesn't have anything really good going on. Any really good storylines, really. Devon, and try to keep his company, to me, is about the best storyline on the whole show. So let's see where that goes. Hopefully we're in for a fight, because I'd like to see a good fight versus him giving in and just the slow demise of him losing everything. But look, here's the deal. Them getting taken out, bought out, them being made miserable and not being able to make a decision. When I say them, I mean Lily and Jill. Because guess what? Devon still has his own money. Devon can, after the ship sinks, look at them and walk away. And who would be the only one able to start another company and go for it? Him. Except the problem is he will be starting completely over, which is what they want him to do, calling it a win for him when it's a loss. It's a big L. So I don't know. I'd take the big L now and fight him, because then he would win. So we'll see where that goes, everybody. Let's see what tomorrow has to offer for the next daily recap of The Young and the Restless.